Section 2 is your Alabama Real Estate Commission. Their purpose is to protect the public from fraud, dishonesty, and incompetence in real estate transaction. The mission is to protect the public through the examination, licensing, and regulation of real estate brokers, salespersons, and firms. The Alabama Real Estate Commission is made up of 9 members. Their appointment is made by the governor and confirmed by the Senate. Of these 9 members, 1 member must be black and the other member must be a consumer member that hasn't held a real estate license in the past 10 years. The Alabama Real Estate Commission qualifications include being a resident and citizen of the state for at least 10 years prior to the appointment. For those that have been licensed, their vocation for at least 10 years shall have been as a real estate licensee or broker. The 1 member that is the consumer member cannot have been licensed as a salesperson or broker within the past 10 years. They need to be a registered voter, 21 years or older, not convicted of a violation or any federal or state real estate law, no felony convictions, and cannot be related by blood or marriage or employed by a real estate licensee. The Alabama Real Estate Commission members are not allowed to hold any elective or appointed state or federal office simultaneously with their term. It's one or the other. Their terms of service is 5-year terms and no more than 2 consecutive terms. There is an exception when they're waiting on a successor. The executive staff consists of an executive director, assistant executive director, and other staff members necessary to conduct commission duties. They are paid $300 per month plus per diem travel allowance for each day of official business of the commission. Their jurisdiction is over actions by a licensee that can harm the consumer in a real estate transaction. The commission can investigate the actions of any licensee on its own or on receipt of a verified written complaint. If the investigation determines that a violation has occurred that warrants disciplinary action, then the commission will file a formal complaint against the licensee and conduct a hearing. Complaints begins with serving the accused personally or by certified email. The accused is given 15 days notice of time, date, and place of hearing. Refusal of the licensing applicant, they can file a request to have a hearing within 15 days notice of the delivery. Hearings are held in Montgomery unless the venue is changed by the commission. All witnesses are sworn in. Commission renders a decision within 30 days. The accused may be heard by counsel or in person, and they can offer testimony and or examine witnesses. And if this matter is subject to an action pending in any civil or criminal court, the commission may choose to withhold an order pending the disposition of that court action. A written notice of a hearing together with a statement of charges is sent by certified mail to the licensee. Testimony may be taken before the hearing by deposition. If the respondent does not appear at the hearing will be held without the licensee, and the licensee will be bound by the decision. Rehearings are within 30 days of filing application for a hearing. The commission shall make a decision to deny or grant a rehearing. If you don't get notice that there's a rehearing, you can deem it was denied. You may file an application for a rehearing within 30 days of receiving that decision, but it does not modify the effective date. Appeals. You must file an appeal within 30 days of the final order. You file the appeal in the Circuit Court of Montgomery County or the county of the accused residence. Must post a $200 appeal bond with the court. Appeal is not a supersedis, meaning you can continue to work. You can't. You're still bound by that final order. But if you request a stay of enforcement by a court and they agree to it, then you would be allowed to work. Commission files a case with the circuit clerk and conducted in accordance with the Alabama Rules of Civil Procedure. An appeal shall be conducted without any jury and confined to the record. No new evidence can be introduced. The Commission's decision is final. Now, if the decision is confirmed, the cost of the appeal shall be taxed to the appealing party. But if not, the Commission will be taxed. So if you prevail, the Commission will pay for the appeal. If you don't, they won't. The Commission may issue reprimands, re-education, fines, and the denial, suspension, or revocation of licenses. The revocation of a broker's brokerage license automatically places on inactive status all the licensees employed by the broker. A suspended or revoked broker must cancel all listings, buyer agency agreements, tenant representations, and property management agreements. Fines are up to $2,500. You can receive reprimand, suspension, revocation of a license, and may be required to complete continuing education courses. The Real Estate Recovery Fund. Consumers that have suffered monetary damages as a result of a licensee's violation of Alabama real estate license law are eligible to apply to the Recovery Fund for compensation. The purpose of the fund is to pay an aggrieved party for actual compensatory damages as a result of conduct of a broker or salesperson. The fund will not pay interest or court cost. Certain conditions and limitations are included. The Real Estate Commission Revenue Fund. All fees, fines, charges, or other money, except as provided in Section 342731 and except as provided in this section for multi-year licenses, collected by the Commission shall be deposited in the State Treasury to the credit of the Real Estate Commission Revenue Fund and shall be dispersed by the State Comptroller on order of the Executive Director at the direction of the Commission. All right, so who can get paid? Well, the judgment is made against a licensee. So the person coming to the Real Estate Recovery Fund needs to have filed suit and prevailed in a court of law. The amount shall not exceed $50,000 against any one person. Now, if there's multiple claims out of one transaction, the limit is $25,000 in aggregate regardless of the number of claimants. The minimum balance required in the fund is not less than $500,000. When a licensee makes application for an original license, they must pay $30. It will be returned if the Commission does not issue a license. When a salesperson obtains a broker status, the fee is not required because payments are only made at one time. Recovery fee exemption. Any licensee whose original license is issued on inactive status shall not be required to pay the Real Estate Recovery Fund fee for that license until such time as a license is activated. For such a license to be activated, the initial recovery fund fee and any supplemental recovery fee will be submitted to the Commission along with other appropriate documentation and fees. The fund shall not be obligated to pay for when on behalf of his or her child, spouse, parent, or inactive licensee or timeshare project.